The lateral flexion movement of the lumbar spine moves along the sagittal axis and the frontal plane. So in this segment of the video, my client here, his shoulders are retracting and then protracting, and the movement he is doing is along the frontal plane and the sagittal axis. In this section of the video, my client here is doing knee exercises, where his knee is flexed and then it extends. And this movement is along the horizontal axis and the sagittal plane. In this segment of the video, my client here is doing seated hip abductions, which is lateral movement along the hip, and it moves along the vertical axis and the transverse plane. In this segment of the video, the hockey player here is winding up for a slap shot. His left shoulder is abducting, which means moving away from the midline, while his right shoulder is adducting, which means moving towards the midline. So for the rest of the slap shot, the hockey player here, his left shoulder has adducted, moved towards the midline, while his right shoulder has abducted, moving away from the midline. For the duration of this slap shot, the hockey player here moved along his frontal plane and his frontal axis. Tensegrity is the tensional integrity of an object. Basically, that means the bones, which are the straws in this model, are spaced out and are kept together by soft tissue. Before tensegrity was introduced, human bodies were compressed together, though that is not true. With the knowledge of tensegrity, we know the human body has compressed elements that behave as spacers, which are the elastic bands. The spine is the best representation of tensegrity. The vertebrae are separated from each other, and if there wasn't the space between the vertebrae, then there would be no room for back movements. Tensegrity relates to posture and movement because everything relies on each other. Without the spacers the body has, everything would be compacted down and no movement would be smooth. Having these spacers allows for smooth movements, and maintaining the proper posture results in smooth, coordinated movements that are very efficient and require very little energy.